Good morning, everybody. Well, I guess it's good afternoon. It's like almost 3 o'clock right about now. And I decided to go ahead and shoot a filofax video. But there's some other things I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit. So it'll be kind of filofax, if I could ever speak correctly. Filofax and like vlog, sort of. So anyway, yeah. So I got a haircut. I don't know if you can tell or see, but it's really short, and they cut off about 10 inches. My hair was really, really, really long, and my hair, I can't stop like swinging it around like in those like those Herbal Essence commercials, or like the hair shampoo commercials where the girls go, whoa, with their hair, because my head, it just feels like, seriously, like 20 pounds lighter. Like I just feel so light, and I just can't stop like playing with my hair and moving my head around, and oh my gosh, so fun. I just couldn't believe how much they chopped off, you know, but at the same time it like gets long and it gets grody after a while, and you're just like, oh, it needs to, and it's summer, and it gets so hot with like really long hair, so I'm really glad I chopped it. Anyway, here's what I wanted to show you. My friend Stephanie brought this box over to me. It's called Sunshine in a Box, and she got the idea off Pinterest, and I'm just so glad and happy she thought of me. Like, it's so cheerful. Look at all that yellow. Candy and sweets, and it's all in the shade of yellow, like sunshine in a box. And, you know, she knows I've been having a really hard time with my mom having been in the hospital, and my dad was actually in a car accident on Monday, so it's just kind of like, you know, when the blank hits the fan, it really hits the fan, if you know what I mean. And so she just knew I was really upset because I'm one of those people that, I guess I should turn that around. I am one of those people that's very protective of the people I care about and the people that I love, and it is extremely hard for me to just sit there and do nothing when I see people that I love or care about, or innocent people even, like animals or children, or just people who can't defend themselves. Like, I can't stand it. It's so hard for me to just sit back and like do nothing. And like with my mom in the hospital, there's nothing I can really do for her. I can't help her. I don't have the skills to save her. You know, I haven't been able to do anything for her except pray, and I've done that, you know, and that feels all helpless. And then my dad being in the car accident, there's not really anything I can do about that either. I mean, I am going to be taking a trip down there on Friday. I'm going to be leaving, and I'll be down there for 2 weeks, and I'm going to hopefully keep up with the videos during that time period and film. I don't know what days or times I'll upload anything because, you know, I don't know. My priority at that point is taking care of my mom, but I'm going to try to keep up with the videos, and I want you guys to see kind of like the area I grew up in and things that I used to do down there, because I just think it'd be fun. I don't know how many people get to go to California, and I don't know. It's different looking at California through somebody who's lived there's eyes, you know, like the native's eyes, versus going there as like a tourist per se. But yeah, so I don't know. I just felt like God really cared about me, like really. That might sound kind of weird, but I really feel like He inspired my friend Stephanie to bring this box to me and to help lift my spirits, you know, help make me feel sunshine and cheerful, and I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful to her and to my Father in heaven for remembering me and loving me and helping me keep pushing forward through this really hard time. But anyway, on to the filofax, which I'm sure is why you guys are watching to begin with. Alrighty, so please don't mind my messy, let me see if I can move this here. My messy side. Well, it's not really even a side table. It's an ottoman, and we don't have a coffee table because we have the ottoman, and so like all of my junk that I use all the time, or that just seems to collect up there, like all the mail and stuff like that, just ends up sitting up there until I do something with it, because quite frankly, I have a very cluttered existence. I don't know. It's like I try to find homes for things, but everything just seems to be just slightly cluttered, and maybe that's just because that's the way I am. My mind is that way. I don't know. Not necessarily dirty, just messy. And as the Carl's Jr. commercial says, if it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face. Yeah, okay, that's stretching it. All right, anyway, so this is my filofax. It is a Franklin Covey filofax. And look, I got this little charm on here. Let me turn that around. A little Easter egg charm. Yep. Anyway, okay, so this is like the A5 size. I think the Franklin Covey people call it classic, and it just has like a little snap closure, so it just snaps shut. If I can get it in there. Anyway, yeah, it just snaps shut, and then you can open it. And over here, I have like stickers and things. I can pull those out. Ha ha ha. Stickers. And notepads and sticky notes and things like that. And there's like a little zip pouch, which I don't have anything in there right now, but I was thinking I could put like receipts in there. Just things that I maybe want to keep track of that I don't want lost, because then I can zipper it shut. There we go, zip it shut, and then that way it just kind of stays in there. And then there's like a place for cards right here, but I don't know. I don't really have any business cards. I don't really know anybody with businesses, and I have so many like cards, like bank cards and club membership cards and things like that, that I have to use my wallet versus a filofax, because like seriously, my wallet has so many cards. It's not even funny how many cards I have. But anyway, so this is, I don't know, like, I can't remember what they call it. Like, my mind just totally went blank. A splash page, my first page that I put in there. And I just stuck like a couple little paper clips up on the top, because I thought, you know, if I need something, they're there. If I need to paper clip something, I have a couple of them on hand, and I can just take one off and use it as needed and then put it back over there. So I figured I'd just keep a couple in there. I don't think I need more than just a couple of them. And then on this side, I have my schedule, I guess, my every day of the week that I'm going to be doing something. And I put a little car paper clip up here because I'm going to be going on a road trip, and I just thought the car would be fun to stick up there. But I haven't written anything in here yet because I kind of wanted to show everything as it was before I started writing in it too much, so that way I don't have to like cover up anything too personal. But yeah, I just printed off some of these and kind of cut them down to size and put them in there, and then as I run out of them, I'll just go and print more. Although my pages are not all quite uniform because I was cutting things, well, not quite by hand. I have a little tiny cutting board machine, but yeah, it can only cut like 3 or 4 sheets at a time, so some of them are a little longer and some of them are a little bit shorter than other ones. And then I just put some like notes here in the back if I need to make notes for anything, because I'm the secretary for primary at church, and primary, we are over the children. We work with children from ages 1.5 to through 11. They move on when they're 12, but it's my job to keep everybody on track to make sure that, you know, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to do it. If we're holding an event or anything like that, it's my job to take notes on who's bringing what and when we're doing it, and if I need to make reminders and things like that. So paper like this really keeps me organized so that I can keep them organized, because if I'm a mess, they're a mess. And so I've got note paper and in there, several sheets of that. And then I have this other dashboard. Aha, that's what they were called, dashboards. And I'm sure you were all thinking that, like, dashboard, Candace, it's called a dashboard. Yes, and I finally remembered. It only took me halfway through this video to actually recall that. Okay, so anyway, here's my other little dashboard, and it's so cute. I just love this bunny. He's just so cheeky and cheerful. I love that big old nose. And I've got addresses, which I should probably cover, but well, how about I just flip the page? There we go. So I have addresses, and I just put washi tape over here to kind of to strengthen them a little bit, because I watch Mrs. Brimble's, my friend Anna, and she does filofaxes, and so she said that's what she does when she uses pages that she's going to be keeping a lot. See, like back here, I didn't really put washi tape because I'm going to be using these and going through them every week and then replacing them with new ones. But these address ones I'm going to be keeping, obviously, for a very long time until they get obsolete or outdated. And so I wanted to put washi tape on there so that when I turn the pages and stuff, it's a little bit more strong, and I don't have to worry about it ripping, and I don't have to worry about replacing it as often. And then obviously I have birthdays right here, and I washi taped these, and I did a couple pages for each, birthdays and anniversaries. And then I did another set with red in here, so if that ever gets outdated or gets torn up, I have another set ready to go. And then I have like my wish list, which I should be filling out because I do have things that I'm wishing for already, and I don't want to forget what they are, because I don't know if you're like me, but like throughout the year I'm like, oh, I wish I had that. I'd love that for Christmas. I'd love that for my birthday, because my birthday's in November, so it's like November Christmas. But by the time my birthday and Christmas rolls around and my husband's like, what would you like? I'm like, I don't remember. Like, I can't remember half the stuff I said that I wanted until after Christmas is over, and then I'm like, oh I forgot I wanted that and that and that. It happens to me every year. So not this year. This year is going to be different. This year I'm writing it down as it comes along. And the first thing on my list is going to be one of those, what do you call them? Like a digital photo frame. So because I have like tons and tons of digital photos that I don't necessarily want to print out, but I'd like to see them, you know, and so I thought it'd be fun to have a digital photo frame somewhere in my house so that I can see all the photos that I don't really get to see very often. So I got one page for me. I printed out one page, and I told my husband that this page is for him. So if there's anything that he wants, he can write it down, and I'll know what he wants. Although it's really funny because I put together my filofax, and I was like, come here, honey, come sit next to me. I want to show you this. And so he comes and sits down, and I start going through the filofax and explaining to him what everything is and where everything's at. Because, you know, with my mom being in the hospital right now, like, she is the one who pays the bills, and my dad doesn't. And so it's been really kind of scary thinking about that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know what's due, when it's due. He doesn't really know, like, how to run the household. You know what I mean? Stuff like that that you don't really think about until you're, like, in a position where you have to. And so with that, I was like, oh my gosh, what if something ever happened to me? Because in my household, I manage the money. Like, I pay the bills. I make sure everything gets paid on time. That's, like, part of my job, because I'm a stay-at-home wife. And so, you know, it's my job to run the household, like, you know, making sure the cooking gets done, and that, I probably should turn this around while I'm talking about that, that the cooking gets done, and that the chores are done, and that the bills are paid, and, you know, just all that stuff. So that's, like, my responsibility. And so it worries me, because if he doesn't know what bills due when and how much to pay for each one, like if something were to happen to me, yeah, that'd all be on him, and he wouldn't know what to do. And so I was trying to explain that to him and show him, oh, look at this, and you can check this here to see what this bill or that bill, or the wish list here or wish list there, or if you know, because he's always asking me, what are we doing on this day? What are we doing on that day? And I was like, you can just now check the filofax, just like whip it open and go to, like, you know, the week's page, and you can look and see what we're doing. And then as you know, if you make a plan, you need to write it in there so I know what you're doing, and I don't make plans for us, you know, if you've already got plans. But he just kind of gave me this look like I was crazy or something. He was like he just looked so overwhelmed, which I thought was so funny, because I was like, the whole point of the filofax is to make it easy and organized, but for some reason, like, in his mind, it was like totally the opposite of like easy organization. I don't know. I'm going to have to keep working with him, guys, but if you have any suggestions on how to get your husbands on board using the filofax, or to make it seem more simple, because to me it's totally clear and totally simple. I'm like, this is way easier to use than just like, hey, are we doing anything in passing? Because I tend to forget things, and then I book something, and I'm like, oh crap, I totally forgot about that other thing we were supposed to be doing, you know, or whatever, and I don't want to double book, you know, any of our events or anything like that. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to get my husband on board, I'm all ears, guys, okay? Alrighty, back to filofax. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, those are the wish lists, and then I have our funds and stuff right here. And I know this is like an spending sheet, like we're in and out and stuff, but for us, like, we make salary every month. Our income doesn't really change, and our bills are pretty much the same, with the exception of like a couple of the utility bills, which obviously depends upon our consumption of those utilities, like the electricity or the gas. So what I went ahead and did is I just kind of wrote on here the, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I just kind of wrote over here on the day that it's due. I wrote down here in the middle, like, what the item is, like if it's our rent or our student loans or our car payment or whatever. And then in the out, I just wrote the total amount that we pay. That way, if like anything ever happens to me, he can flip this open and be like, okay, I know the rent is due on the 1st. I know, I have to pay the car payment on the 15th. I have to pay, the electricity on the 25th, or, just whatever. And so that way, he knows, like, how much everything costs and can easily calculate based on his paychecks what to use when, if that makes sense. So for us, that makes the most sense because it's pretty much the same bills that come out every single month, and then whatever's left over goes either into savings, and we have, like, a little bit left over for just, things that we might need, or, sometimes you need new pots and pans or bedding, or I don't know, you just never know. Anyway, I'm really excited about this part right here because I laminated some pieces back here, and it came on this really big sheet, and so I had to cut it down to size, and there was tons of, like, leftover laminate. And I was like, I don't want to throw that out, and I don't want to waste that. And so I took one, and I made this really cool, I got a stamp of this hummingbird, which I thought was so beautiful. I love this hummingbird. So pretty. And then I just used a stamp pad and stamped down onto this, and then I covered it with embossing powder. And then I used my heat gun to emboss it, and it just basically raised the image off the plastic here. And I feel like I want to do more with it. I just don't know what to do with it. I kind of haven't decided, because I thought about doing like some little heart stamps or something up here and down here, but I don't know, it just seemed like it would be too cluttered or didn't maybe go together very well. I might use some washi tape on it, or maybe some stickers if I find some really cute ones. I'm not really sure. So if any of you have like suggestions on maybe something cute that you might think would go well with this or look pretty with this, I'm all ears. I did, however, stick a little pad of notepad down here in case I need notes for anything or whatever. I don't know, I just felt like sticking something like that in there in case, yeah, I ever need to jot something down, I can just stick it on there and I can see it visually. And then over here I have my medication chart. And normally I just take 2 medications, which I take at the same time every day, so I don't really need the chart for that. But recently, I mean, at the end of January I had a surgery, and then I got sick in March, and I was on a ton of different medications, and this would have been really, really helpful because I was starting to forget, like, when did I take that pill, when do I need to take that pill, and I had like 5 or 6 different pills, and it was just really hard to keep track of it. And so I have this in here just in case I get sick, because I get sick probably once or twice a year, and when I do, I end up being on like 3 or 4 different pills because sometimes it's just really hard for my body to kick illness. So I figured I would save this in here for when I have or my husband has medications that we need, and so I can keep track of it better. So I just have that in there for right now. And then here, this is technically a chore or to-do chart. And I haven't put in my chores yet, but I did put one thing that I've been wanting to use this for, and I'll just fold that back up because we don't really need that. And that's my scripture study and prayer. You probably cannot read that. I can't read it in the back of the screen. Anyway, my prayer and my scripture study. It's something that I want to do every day, but sometimes, I don't know, I just forget about it until it's like later in the evening, or I just get really busy, and I really want to make time for that because I feel like God really needs to be a priority for me in my life. And when I do those things, when I read my scriptures and I pray, I feel like my day just goes so much better and so much smoother. And it's not so much that I don't have problems or issues, because I mean, everybody has problems and issues and they don't go away, but I feel like I'm able to deal with them better. I don't know, I feel like it's my chance to get to know God. And I view my relationship with God like a parent-child relationship. Like for me, I call my mom or my grandmother, who's like my mom practically, like once a week, if not more often, you know? And I feel the same way with Heavenly Father. I'm like, how can I get to know Heavenly Father and get to know God if I'm not in constant communication with Him the way that I am with my parents, you know? And so for me, that's like a goal that I have, and this chart is going to help me do that. I haven't decided what the chores that I want to do and like what schedule I want to set them up on. So I've kind of left that blank for right now because I'm still kind of, you know, exploring it. But I did use some washi tape there on the side to help keep this one strong so I don't have to, you know, print that one out for a while. And then over here, I have this clear little thing, which is not pretty, but it came with the filofax originally, so I said, hey, why throw it out? Might as well use it. And I put like a little bit of the little sticky tab things here for me to use on these. Now these I laminated. These, because I want to reuse them, but these are my dinner planning, and I don't plan 1 week at a time. I usually plan 2 weeks out at a time. And so I went ahead and like put washi tape on here, and then I'm just going to use the little strips to basically plan my meals. And when I plan my meals, I usually start out by looking at the sale ads to find out what's on sale and in season, and then I basically base my meals off that. I'll look through recipe books, or I'll just think, oh, what sounds good? Like if I know chicken's on sale, I'm like, okay, I can make, you know, we can have just baked chicken or fried chicken, or we can do tortilla strip soup with chicken in it, or, you know, tacos with chicken instead of beef, or, you know what I mean? I just kind of go through that and try to make meals based around what's on sale, and then when I get the idea, I will put it on here on the sticky paper. Like for instance, on Tuesday we had chicken Chardonnay sausage and small potatoes. On Saturday we had a pear and blue cheese salad, And then on Sunday was our Easter dinner. We did ham, we did a zucchini casserole, mashed potatoes, and gravy with rolls and a blackberry pie. I didn't write the dessert down there or the rolls because I didn't have room, but yeah. And then this week we're having hot dogs and potatoes, taco salad, and I'm making it Spanish rice and beans and all that stuff on top of the salad, like cucumbers and things like that and tomatoes. So I haven't really put a whole lot in here because I am leaving on Friday and I won't be here. And so I haven't really planned the last couple of weeks because it's been a little bit crazy and it's just been kind of a matter of getting through the weeks. And I'll be in California for 2 weeks, so what I'm trying to do right now is just use up like all my fresh ingredients and things that I know will expire, and trying to use those things up so that, unless it's in the freezer, I don't have to worry about it. I won't waste much food. And then I printed some of these little meal plan things out here, and I'm not really sure why since I'm going to be using those, but I said, what the hey, might as well just print these out, and I don't know, maybe I will, start doing more in-depth menus, or I'm not sure. And then I printed out some lists paper here so I can do grocery lists, because I generally like to bring a list with me to the grocery store of what I need, and it helps me keep on budget and keep on track. Plus, then I don't forget anything. There's nothing worse than starting to make a meal and being like, oh crud, I forgot the main ingredient or part of the main ingredient. And so, yeah, I'm going to use that. And then, of course, the filofax came with this little card holder, which I could put stickers in, or I'm not really sure what I will put in there. Maybe some photos, cardstock, I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't thought about it. And it came with this little pocket here, which I have a pen and a pencil in, I guess, in case I need one or an extra one. People, it's like in high school, people always ask, hey, do you have a pen or a pencil I can borrow? And it almost seems like that never changes. Like even at church, people are like, hey, can I borrow a pen? I need to write something down real quick. And I'm like, yeah, as much as things change, they actually stay the same. And then back here I have like a notepad, which I'm going to need to get another one of these. But right on here I have my packing to-do list of things that I need to get done before I leave on Friday. I put on there doing my laundry by a certain day, certain items that I needed to pack, not forgetting my medication or chargers or my laptop. And for me, it's really helpful to make a list of things I need to do and write down when I'm calm and I can think about it and have time to think about it. So, I don't get down to California and I'm like, oh, snap, I forgot my phone charger, or I forgot this or that, because that saves us time, that saves us money and irritation and stress. So I'm very much a planner. I've got plans A through Z, and I can't function unless I have a plan. Oh, and then I've got this little pen holder here, and I just have my totally chewed up, writing pen. It says Pilot G207, and I mean, it's not the prettiest thing to look at, and it's really old, but the reason I love it so much is because it writes so well. It writes so smoothly. Oh my gosh, it's like cutting butter when you're writing. And for me, I love writing. I love the feel of a pen to paper, and so having a really smooth writing instrument is super important for me. Yeah, I can't stand pens that drag or stick to the paper or just aren't very smooth writers. So anyway, this is my filofax, the beginning of it, and I keep hoping to add to it and having it change and grow with me. And as I get more ideas and as my life develops and as this develops, I will keep you guys updated if it changes or as it changes. Yeah. So anyway, I thank you guys for watching and sticking with me if you've stuck out to this part, and any advice, suggestions, anything at all. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here, part of me, with part of my channel, and giving me feedback, and just, I love hearing from you. I really do. It's so exciting. Every time I get a new subscriber or anybody that comments, it just makes me so happy because I'm like, yes, I get to find out somebody else. I get to find out who you are, and I get to find out, what your life is like and what you do, and I don't know. It's like making a new friend. So thanks for being my friend and sticking with me, and have a great week, guys. Bye.